Good day, everyone. Thank you for joining today's session. We will start in few moments. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another webinar. Before we get started, we would like to remind you to connect to the audio in order to hear the presenter. To do this, please click on the audio in between tab at the upper corner of your screen. Click on Switch Audio, then click Connect. All attendees are in listen-only mode. Please turn your speakers and turn up the volume to ensure you can hear the panelists. Now, please turn your attention to the bottom right side of your screen. There you will see a chat icon or a speech bubble. If you are facing any technical difficulties, please state so in the chat box we can help you as quickly as possible. We will be also holding a Q&A session at the conclusion of today's presentation. Once the webinar has ended, a window will open with a survey. Please take a moment to complete the survey as we appreciate your feedback. The title of today's webinar is Introducing ColorRevive and Why Color Vision Outdoor Matters. Now, without further delay, I will hand over to Tuha. Thank you.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us today from all over the world. We are very happy and excited to be here today and to warmly welcome you to our webinar on introducing ColorRevive, why color vision outdoors matters. My name is Tua Vu, and I'm the product manager for the outdoor LED modules in the OEM business of Signify. And I'm here today with my colleague René, who will also briefly introduce himself.
Yeah, so welcome. My name is René Weg. I'm working in Signify Research as a light sources expert.
Yes, and with that, let's have a look at the agenda as we have prepared quite some nice content for you today. We will start with public lighting in urban environments and why it is relevant to look into urban environments. We will then give some insights into human vision and the importance of color vision at night, and then also to link to how it impacts public lighting in urban environments. With our researchers, we will show you what we found, our solution, and also give you some exclusive behind the look scenes of how ColorRevive was developed, so the journey towards the solution. In the end, we will introduce the Philips 40 mode Fast-X ColorRevive, so our new product innovation introduction, and explain to you the benefits and recommended application areas for ColorRevive. In the end, we reserved some time for Q&A to address all your questions. Of course, if you have some questions in the meantime during the webinar, feel free to already drop them in the chat box. We will collect them to address them then all together in the end. Without further ado, let's get started with public lighting in urban environments. Why public lighting in urban environments? Why urban? Because according to our world in data, by 2050, more than 2/3 of the world will live in urban areas. I repeat, by 2050, more than 2/3 of the world will live in urban areas, meaning that in the cities and urban areas that we live in today, we will grow a lot more and we will be even more populated. That poses the challenges and the questions like, how can we maintain livability, safety, and quality of life? And how can we maintain all of these while delivering sustainable, eco-friendly solutions for a growing population? To better understand these challenges and to better understand these questions, we first look into the users, which are the residents of urban environments. What do people expect from urban environments? We people, as residents of the city, expect to live in pleasant environments that are safe and pose low risk of accidents. But also we're seeking for social interactions and leisure activities. And we're seeking for job opportunities and a dynamic economy in the area that we live. These needs are addressed to the municipalities, or the municipalities play a key role in addressing those. So what should municipalities provide? Municipalities have the great challenge and task to create livable environments and enhance the residents' quality of life. They also have the task to minimize accidents and ensure public safety, and to develop secure areas that prevent crime and potential hazards. At the same time, they have the challenging task to reduce energy consumption and lower the CO2 emission of the city and their urban environment. But it can't simply be done by simply turning off everything, but we still have to promote urban activity and make the city attractive, even at night, to stimulate local economic growth, among others. So, as lighting manufacturers, the question is, how can we, with lighting, contribute and help municipalities to improve urban environments? For that, we first look into the objectives of public lighting at night. And the first one is very simple. Firstly, public lighting at night is to enable visibility. Without light, we can't see. So firstly, we simply want to be able to see when we have to go out after sundown. It will help to increase our feeling of security and safety. In fact, there has been many studies, and one study has particularly stood out, which found out that street lighting can reduce crime by 39% at night. So street lighting or outdoor lighting can significantly improve nightlife and reduce crime. At the same time, besides having to go out, we sometimes want to go out because we want to follow our daily activities even after sundown. So with public lighting at night, we can stimulate nocturnal activity and extend the hours of the day. Otherwise, we would be very limited by the hours of the natural sun. Also, public lighting at night can be used in a very aesthetical way. With lighting, we can beautify public spaces and therefore incentivize the economy for our own residents, for the residents of the city, but also for tourism. And last but not least, while aiming to achieve all these objectives of public lighting at night, we always look into how to reduce energy consumption and how to create solutions that are energy efficient and sustainable for a better planet. So knowing or hearing of the needs of the users, the challenges of the municipalities, and the objectives of public lighting at night, we now want to deep dive into human vision and the importance of color vision at night to better understand how we can improve public lighting at night and how we can better support municipalities in their challenges.
Can you give me the ball? So I will take over from here to tell you a little bit more about human vision and the importance of color vision and how we came to this innovation. So pointer, just give me a minute. So first about human vision. So here one slide about how human vision works. So you all know we use light to see, but it's not just light. We also use color and contrast to be able to see. For example, to be able to recognize people or objects or spaces, and especially at night, we need contrast and color. So how do we see color in the eye? So you see here a schematic representation of the human eye. where in the back you have here the retina. And in the retina, there's actually a layer of molecules, special molecules, which are these, which are photoreceptors. It means they absorb light and do something with it. And we have different types of photoreceptors. We have cones that detect green or red or blue light. So we are able to see those different colors, as you know. They work best in bright light. When the light level goes down, then the rods take over. So we have these gray ones, those are the rods for a night vision, so to say. So you can discern kind of three regimes, which we call, the first one we call photopic vision. So that is the vision under daytime or very high artificial light levels, where we are using our color sensitive cones. So we see colors, you see that here in green, and therefore we can clearly distinguish shapes and colors. On the other hand, we have the scotopic vision regime. So that's the visual perception under very low light levels, where our visual acuity is low because only the rod cells are active, now in green, and they only give us black and white information. So we can barely see outlines and only see different shades of gray. There's also a regime in between, which is called the mesopic vision, which is intermediate. So it is a typical situation under ordinary public lighting, so the topic of this webinar, where both cones and rod cells are active. So we have limited vision with a mix of pale color shapes and gray tones. So what does that mean? So actually in that mesopic, we know from research, from other people, they have done research on the topic of what happens with color vision when the light level goes down. So you go gradually from the photopic situation to scotopic, and by that color vision goes down, and it has been simulated how much that is. So you see here a typical picture of a color checker chart. In natural light or in high light levels, it will look like this. When the lux level goes down, you see that the colors become much more dull. So that is how we see in low light levels. And you can also represent it in this way, where at high light levels we can see many colors, which we kind of show here with a large area in color space. So you can see this as color space, and we can see a very large area in color space. And when the light level goes down at very low light levels, the area of colors that we can see decreases. And it actually does that not for all colors the same. That has to do with the sensitivity of our cones, which is not all equal. So what we have here is that in the yellow-blue direction, the decrease of color visibility is more than in the green-red direction. So this is a representation of how our color vision goes down with light level going down. So that is just light level. So how then actually do we recognize things? How can we see if something has a color? That is schematically depicted on this slide. So here is a very typical fire extinguisher. Everybody knows that that is a typical red object. And why is that red? Because it has a certain reflection spectrum, which you see here, which means actually it reflects red light and it absorbs the other colors like blue and green. And because of that, it has a red color. But what we actually see is not only dependent on the reflection spectrum of the object, but also dependent on the source spectrum. So the spectrum of the light source that is illuminating this object. And here you see a typical spectrum of a white LED for outdoor. And what actually reaches our eye is a combination of those two, as you can see over here. In other words, it depends also on the light source, how we see the colors. So the impact of color vision is serious. We know that also from a lot of research. There are various studies which show how important that is, that color perception gives humans a really big amount of information that really helps us to distinguish objects from each other and from their background. For example, there are studies that show that color is an important factor in facial recognition. It helps us to recognize faces. Also, it helps or it affects the visibility of objects on roads. So if the objects on roads are more clear, have a better color, we can more easily and quicker see them. And also, it's well known from research that when you change an object's standard color or remove the color altogether, it will take you more time to recognize it. So also that gives you an indication how important color vision is. So now, okay, we know that at lower light levels our color vision goes down and we would like to repair that. But how can we then do that? Because on the other hand, we also want to have a good energy efficiency. We know how important that is these days. So we were thinking, how can we improve the color vision at lower light level without using more energy? And yeah, for that we have developed ColorRevive technology, which I will now dive a little bit deeper in. So what I want to do is I want to take you a little bit along the journey that we followed, how we got to the solution. So it started actually with this tool that we are using in our research laboratory, which we call a spectrum generator. It is actually, a spectrum generator. So you see here this box, which contains 12 different colors of LEDs, 12 channels, which we can drive individually. And with that, we can actually make any spectrum that we want. And what we have done, we have two of these boxes next to each other. And then what we have done is we did a perception test, having a certain spectrum left and another spectrum right, and look for which spectrum the color visibility was better. And we have this miniature outdoor situation to mimic an outdoor environment. Here you see how this whole thing looks, but we did the test, of course, at dim ambient level so that we only had light in the box. And we had ideas about which direction we wanted to go. So we made all kinds of spectra and did the test. And based on those laboratory testing, we could decide which spectrum would be the one that would be working best. And then we know what kind of spectrum we want to make. The next question is, how will we make that? Because with this tool that I just showed, we have 12 individual colors, but we have to integrate that into one white LED. And for that, we have a Signify proprietary spectral simulation tool that we have developed ourselves, where we use actually a phosphor database with many phosphors that we have. So of course, a white LED consists of a blue LED peak and phosphors. Normally a green and a red phosphor together make white light. So we have a big database of all kinds of green and red phosphors, which we have measured in-house, their properties like quantum efficiency and spectra. The same, we have a database of blue LEDs, and we have a spectral model where we can combine all these phosphors with all these blue LEDs and make multiple phosphor combinations and calculate for all these combinations what is the color point and what is the efficiency. And from that big bunch of results, we can then choose which one is the best for the application that we have in mind. In this case, color visibility at low light level. But of course, efficiency is important too. So the result is a spectrum and a recipe. This is just an example. This is not the ColorRevive spectrum. It's just a white LED spectrum. So then we defined the recipe. And next step was to give that recipe to the LED supplier and ask the LED supplier to make first samples for us in a 50/50 LED package. So then we had samples. Of course, then we had to do more real testing with those samples. So real life prototypes. We started with building some kind of miniature street poles that we could still place in our own laboratory. And we again looked left and right at miniature objects to see if the effect was there. After that, it was scaled up a bit in our Signify lighting application center with a bigger street, as you can see, but still indoor. And actually also after that, we have done a pilot test in an outdoor street, which is actually in a major city in Europe, where we have been testing this for quite some time with good results. And soon there will be also more information about that becoming available. So that was the testing, verifying the effect just by looking at it. What we also did further testing is we did internal and external tests. And for example, we did a perception test, again with that box left and right, asking more than 300 people what they would prefer, left or right. And this table is a summary of that test, where we actually did different things. Like, for example, if you take the top row, in the left viewing box, we showed a normal spectrum at a certain CCT at a certain lux level. And in the right viewing box, we used the same CCT, same lux level, but the ColorRevive spectrum. And we asked the people, what do you prefer, left or right? Where do you see colors better, left or right? And you see here that more than 80% of the cases, the people chose the ColorRevive box. And we did many of these tests, as you see in this table. And in average, about 80% of the participants chose the ColorRevive spectrum without knowing what they were actually looking at. So that was also a very good result. And another test we did was a laboratory experiment where this is about ordering color samples. So this we did with only five people, so it's a small scale experiment where you have this test is known in color science. It's called the Farnsworth-Munsell test, where you have 85 color samples. You see a picture of a number of these samples over here. And the test is that you have to order those colors in the right sequence. And you see a picture here, how that ordering should be. And what we did is we did that test under two lighting conditions, the ColorRevive and a standard outdoor lighting condition. And actually, those five people did those tests under those two lighting conditions. After doing the test, you can count the errors made. And we saw that with the ColorRevive spectrum, there were 25% less color ordering errors made on average, which is another indication that with the ColorRevive, the color visibility is better than with standard outdoor lighting. Okay, so my final slide. So to summarize the benefit of ColorRevive from a technical point of view. So this Farnsworth-Munsell color samples, there are 85 samples which have a certain reflection color. And as I explained, in combination with the light source, they give a certain color point. And those color points can be plotted in color space, as is done over here. So this is the U prime V prime color space, and we've plotted those 85 samples when they are illuminated by the ColorRevive spectrum. That's this area, and you can compare that with the reference, which is a much smaller area. So it actually shows that this gamut is about 140% for ColorRevive compared to the reference, which indicates that the color visibility is much better. That translates into potentially just having a better color visibility, or alternatively, you could also use it to decrease the lux level, because to go to the same color visibility, but then at lower lux level, and in that way save a lot of energy. And with that, I will hand over to Tuha again. There you go.
Yes, so as we've heard now from René, we've did really extensive testing on this new technology, and we are very pleased to announce today that we introduced the ColorRevive technology in one of our outdoor module families. So as of today, we are happy to introduce 40 more parsecs ColorRevive. And yeah, 40 more parsecs ColorRevive is the new outdoor module innovation with the ColorRevive technology for you to use in your luminaires and to light up your cities. 40 more parsecs ColorRevive will come with exceptional quality of light for your cities and urban environments. It will come with enhanced color contrast, even at low light levels, so that you can create very attractive and safe cities, even at very low light levels, and while saving energy. And it will help to increase the feeling of safety and comfort. To mention a few of the key features, 40 more parsecs ColorRevive will come in CR80 and 2 different CCTs. So we will introduce it in 2700 and 3000 Kelvin. With around 170 lumen per watt, it really helps you to choose quality of light in a very energy efficient manner. And we will provide it in 4 standard sizes, which are according to the Saga Book 15, meaning that if your luminaire already can accommodate Saga modules, you can easily design them in without any extensive design changes to your luminaire. With the 4 different sizes, they can also fit any luminaire size from 4, 8, 12 to 16 LEDs. Thanks to the Saga Book 15 compliancy, we also ensure the compatibility with our many third-party lenses for a variety of configurations. So now explaining to you the benefits and application areas of Photomorphosis ColorRevive. We firstly would like to mention that with ColorRevive, you can truly see the difference. So ColorRevive enhances the color contrast for better visibility to help you recognize objects and perceive your surroundings better. ColorRevive makes urban spaces appear sharper and brighter. So here, for example, is a picture or a use case example of a motorbike driver under ordinary outdoor lighting, and compared to how it would look like under Philips ColorRevive. Secondly, with ColorRevive, we want you to enjoy the difference. So with the richer, more saturated colors and the enhanced color contrast, we truly believe that you can make the objects in your cities and your city landscape appear more attractive, more appealing, even at very low light levels, and also even compared to ordinary LED lighting. So we don't only compare to conventional light sources, but also to standard LED lighting. So ColorRevive makes urban spaces look more vibrant, attractive, and welcoming. Here, another example, a different use case. So here, for instance, we have a city center under ordinary outdoor lighting, and again, also under Philips ColorRevive. So the recommended application areas that we see here is firstly, really that we target city centers, so the buzzing areas for pedestrians and residents to come together, but also the residential areas, so around the homes of residents. And very specifically, we recommend that ColorRevive can be very well used for zebra crossings, for instance, as it enhances the contrast between the white stripes and the dark street background. Specifically to that, we also believe that school zones could benefit from it, where elevated awareness and safety and security is a key for this area. Thirdly, besides the visual differences, we believe that with Philips ColorRevive, you can truly feel the difference. So thanks to the enhanced visibility, we really help to increase the sense of security and safety. And as mentioned in the beginning, good lighting can truly help to reduce crime and accidents and make spaces feel more safe. So ColorRevive makes urban spaces feel safer and more secure. For that use case, we chose a very scary and unpleasant underpass, as you can see here. And I believe everyone can probably recall a similar kind of setting in one of your cities or urban environments. And sometimes we have no choice than to pass by. So with Philips ColorRevive, you can at least make it a little bit more pleasing, a little bit more visible, and it will help to elevate the feeling of safety and security, even in those not so nice looking areas. And lastly, with Philips ColorRevive, you can make a difference. So in the past, you may have had to choose between efficiency or quality of light. With ColorRevive, you choose both. There's almost no efficiency compromise thanks to the advanced LED technology. So you can truly innovate without having to compromise on energy efficiency. So ColorRevive also helps municipalities to care for the planet and achieve environmental goals. So here, the last example of how ColorRevive could look compared to ordinary outdoor lighting as we know it today. So in addition to city centers and residential areas, we also specifically recommend underpasses as just shown, or also city gardens and parks where people have to pass through at night to get home or to walk home. So it can really make the places feel safer or look safer. In addition, we also believe that there could be a value for industrial areas where safety and security is of importance. So for instance, ports and factories. And to give you a completely different idea as well, we have heard, for instance, in the US that parking areas and car dealerships could be very interesting, as customers often go there in the evening to take the time to look at the potential future car. And that it often influenced the buying decision of the customers. So for car dealerships, it could be a very nice solution to make their cars look very attractive, but at the same time be able to lower the light level and save energy. So to close the loop of what we have shared with you today, and to close the loop to the beginning, with Philips ColorRevive, we really aim to improve the visibility and increase the sense of security for the end user, the residents, but also the municipality. We help to beautify urban spaces, and at the same time, you can still save energy and care for the environment. For the OEM, the benefits are that it's a very simple, easy installation thanks to the standard sizes and the Zaga Book 15 compliancy. So it is a very easy way for you to expand your product offerings without having to do too many redesigns. And at the same time, it helps you to stand out from the competition and gain market share. And with that, we're almost at the end of our webinar and presentation for today. And with that, we have one last surprise for you, which is that, with this webinar, we are officially launching the product. So it is 40MO-Fastworks ColorRevive is immediately available now. You can get all the technical details from the OEM LED Electronics e-catalog, find and create your configuration in the Easy Design In tool, and order your samples via the OEM sample webshop today. First come, first serve. We will post the links in the chat so that you can access them immediately. And to top it up, we are also very pleased to launch an official white paper to it, which has been written by Signify Research to help you understand the topic and deep dive into it, but also to help you spread the word within the industry. This white paper is called Why Color Vision is Crucial in Outdoor Lighting, and it is also becoming available as of now. We will exclusively share this white paper link with you now in the webinar chat, so you have some pre-access before we post it officially externally in the coming days. Yes, and with that, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. We would like to especially highlight and make a shout out to the ColorRevive scientists and R&D team at the Signify OEM who brought ColorRevive to life, and share our contact details if you would like to stay in touch with us or to follow us on LinkedIn for more innovation and more information to come.
Thank you, Tuka and Rene. I will step in now. So hi everyone, my name is Vlada Sakara and I'm the Marco Manager of OEM Signify OEM Europe. And I will help my colleagues with the Q&A. And good thing is that we did receive quite a lot of questions so far, so let's dive straight into. First one is, did you only move from CRI 70 to CRI 80?
You want to pick it?
Yeah, I can take it. So no, actually, it was not a goal to reach CRI 80. The goal was to have better color visibility, and we really looked from the start what would bring that. And actually, we did not just go to CRI 80, but we did other things. And the result was that the solution is CRI 80. It was not the intention. Also because CRI 80 is not normally so much needed in outdoor. So CRI 70 is often enough. The solution that we found turned out to be CRI 80. Actually, there's another question in the chat which I maybe can immediately pick up. So somebody asked, can you explain what is the difference between ColorRevive and CRI 90? So CRI 90, no, this is also not CRI 90. Again, we did something specific for enhancing color visibility at low light levels. For that, we have increased the color gamut by tuning the spectrum, so to say. And so the color gamut is much bigger than for CRI 70 or CRI 80. In one of the earlier slides, they were both in there. But also for CRI 90, the gain is not that big. What we have reached is much more than what you would reach with regular CRI 90.
Thank you. And I think, René, I have one more for you. Or René, so are we expecting that ColorRevive technology can help elderly population with weaker vision see objects better while driving, for example, or walking? And there are a few questions on the topic.
I think.
Yeah, you can start with it.
Yeah, so it will help elderly people because it will help all people. The point is that this solution is not optimized for elderly people alone. We know from another study that indeed you can optimize light for elder people. The reason is that the eye ages over time, and because of that, the color vision changes over time. And you can compensate for that for elderly people, but you would go then to a much cooler spectrum, and it would be optimized for elder people, and that would be a compromise for younger people. And since for an outdoor situation, a normal outdoor situation, you would have to have good light for all ages. We have not really optimized for elder people. But of course, since colors are visibility is better for everybody, it will also help elder people.
Thank you. I think the next one we touched upon in the webinar, but maybe it's a good one to repeat or to refresh. Which application areas of it?
Yeah, so ColorRevive we really developed and designed for human vision. So we really targeted for city centers and residential areas where people are living and where people are active. We wouldn't recommend it for areas, for nature areas, for instance, where people are not active, and it's more related to nature then. So yeah, city centers, residential areas, school zones, shopping areas, all these spaces where we live and spend our time.
Cool, thank you. What would be the behavior? What is the behavior under rain or mist?
Yeah, so it will also in any circumstances or in any situation or in any condition, the color visibility will be better. It does not target specifically rain or mist situation. I know that there's quite some literature on light in a rain or mist situation. It's not, to our opinion, not completely clear what exactly would be really beneficial there from a spectrum point of view. So we're here doing a spectral innovation. It's not completely clear from our point of view what you would have to do to get that better. So it's not the focus of this technology.
Okay. Another question is, do you change the color temperature?
No, we don't really change the color temperature. So we have this ColorRevive solution in 2 color temperatures now, 3000 Kelvin and 2700 Kelvin, as Tuha explained. And that is, yeah, that's what it is. So we have it at those 2 color temperatures, and at the same color temperature, we alter the spectrum so that the color visibility gets better.
Thank you. Another question is, can you send the presentation by email? We will share this recording after the webinar, in like a week after the webinar, but you can always reach out to your Signify key account manager who will share all the details sooner if that's needed. Another question is, have you tested the RF color fidelity for this solution?
We have not really tested it, honestly. But if the question, yeah, I mean, there is also not a requirement on RF per today. And actually, there was also not a requirement on CRI. As we explained, this spectral solution is made to have better color visibility, and it turned out to become CRI 80. Most probably no, I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure what the RF value exactly will be. No, I'm not sure. It can be easily determined from the spectrum, but I don't know today what it exactly will be. No.
Thank you. Now I'm just looking through the questions because we can still take quite a few. One is about efficiency. What about the efficiency of previous CRI 70 versus ColorRevive CRI 80? Does that mean bigger power consumption and cost up linked to higher CRI?
Yeah, so as most people know, when you go to higher CRI, it normally goes at the expense of efficiency. So if you just would look at the, look at the lumen per watt, then indeed at the same conditions, the lumen per watt of this ColorRevive at the same CCT would be just slightly a few percent smaller than CRI 70. However, the color visibility is much, much better. So you by far overcompensate on that. So if you, for example, as I explained, want to go to the same color visibility, you can decrease the lux level or the brightness of the source enormously, such that then the energy consumption is actually less than with standard CRI 70.
Yeah, and also to add to this, it also depends a bit to what you compare, because in outdoor lighting, we have a lot of conventional light sources still. So LED compared to conventional is already a huge step. But then also within the LED technology, we have some differences that in the past, high power LEDs were used for outdoor lighting applications due to its robustness and its reliability. But the efficiency is not as high, or is not the peak one that you can find. Because we use the 50/50 LED technology here, or the LED package here, we can really boost the efficiency compared to the high power LED. So if you compare a CI 80 high power module to this ColorRevive FastFix module, you can still see a difference of around 10%. So it is really high in terms of energy efficiency. And even though you compromise a little by going to a higher CI, you will still have a very high, high energy efficient system in the end.
Thank you. Another one is ColorRevive with 50 LEDs?
I think it is. Does it mean 50/50 LEDs? I guess.
If that's the question, then the answer is yes, right?
Yeah. So if the question is if ColorRevive is with 50/50 LEDs only, then the answer for now is yes. If the 50 relates to something else, then please let us know. But yeah, for now we chose to use it in the 50/50 LED package. One because of the efficiency, and the other because of our freedom with the spectral tuning with the phosphor.
Okay, thank you. One question on certifications. Is this new recipe complying with all certifications required for outdoor modules across different regions of the world, or do you expect some compliance issues in specific regions?
So on the module certification, the 40 mode FastFix ColorRevive will come with CE, ENEC, ENEC Plus, and also the UL certification. So it should be compliant to all regions. I'm not sure if this question was also now related specifically to the Spectra, but yeah, but the module itself is certified in a way for global application.
Thank you. Now, I hope you will understand this question better than I do, but can we change illuminance value of the norm?
Yeah, if in principle it would be possible, but it will probably need some time. But yeah, if yeah, in our view, this gives a better color visibility and a better visibility, and because of that, the brightness norm could potentially be decreased. But the question, honestly, will be how much it will take. Quite some effort probably to change that. Who knows?
Yep. Okay, and let's take one last one because we need to wrap up already. Is there an impact on lumen maintenance versus the standard 3000K LEDs?
No. So we have tested, of course. I mean, we have tested these LEDs and these boards extensively before launching it, obviously, and there's no difference in rated lifetime.
Yeah, and to add to this, so at Signify, for all our 40 mode fast fix outdoor LED modules, we have a very extensive reliability testing program in place, meaning that all the LEDs that we put on our products and that we sell within or for the outdoor lighting application are all extensively tested in terms of reliability, lifetime, and durability, because we are aware that the outdoor environment and the real life conditions are a lot harsher than indoor lighting applications, for example. So also with ColorRevive, we did extensive reliability testing to really ensure that the LED itself is reliable enough so that you can use it and apply it without any worries and concerns.
Cool. Sounds good. Thank you. I think we can wrap up because we are already we're out of time.
All right. Then thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you for joining.
And we hope you saw the link to the white paper in the chat and can access it. And otherwise, please reach out to us or to your Signify key account manager and we'll make that available for you. Thank you.
Then thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.